Hey guys, it's Sue Bird, Regional Vice President with Arbonne International, and I'm very excited to be here today speaking with you via video for this incredible forum that Jeff Shaw has created. And I'm very excited that he actually asked me to actually submit a video. And for some of you who don't know who I am a former photojournalist in Canada. I worked in the newspaper industry for 20 years and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I then left the newspaper industry in about 2006 and started going into my own niche market, which I started focusing on just animal photography and worked for magazines like Dogs in Canada magazine. I had some images published in National Geographic in the Hungry edition and worked with lots of rescue groups as well as private clientele and spent about 6 years building that business and was able to have an opportunity to work with Jeff in his mastermind program and was very thoroughly happy with the results. And part of the journey that happened during that time was I, as an entrepreneur, got to realize that I was really enjoying more of the entrepreneurial coaching and the mentoring side of business, being on my own, than I was actually enjoying running a photography business. So during that time, I brought to Jeff a crazy idea, a business that was presented to me. It just so happened to be presented to me during that time, and I told him that he was going to think I was nuts. And as I presented it to him, he actually said to me, "This is something that I really should look at." So being open as an entrepreneur, I think, is one of your biggest assets. You are someone that has a great vision. You have binoculars on, and you don't let anyone steal any of your vision of what this business is going to be, whether it's in the photography industry or any other industry. And I think that's the secret sauce of an entrepreneur, is that our vision is so huge that we can cast it so far and we can really protect it by keeping our goggles on and not letting people steal our vision. And we see things before things actually happen. And that's something that I think is definitely something I admire in all of entrepreneurs. And it's probably the one thing that we can see people coming to the table with that possibly don't have that skill set. And as entrepreneurs, I think it's our duty to help people who come to the table as entrepreneurs, who have possibly never run their own business before, who have never had that type of ability to have vision. Most people are running away from their nightmares. They're not running towards their dreams. And when we can figure out what people are either running from or running to, we can certainly help direct them in the right path. And in this new industry that I've discovered, it's been my pleasure to help mentor and coach many entrepreneurs coming to the table and helping them build their serious entrepreneur over time while they build a business. And one of the things that I've always been very strong on in both industries that I've been in now is definitely having a strong library of great books to look into and to pull from and to train from. And so what I've collected is some of my favorites here, and Jeff knows this one. So this is the E-Myth. I love this book. It's heavily used, as you can see. I have lots of highlighted, paragraphs in here that I pull out. It's a great book, and it's definitely a book that touches on the point of entrepreneurs coming into an entrepreneurial world. And I think in this economic time, you're seeing a lot more people who are adding multiple streams of income to their bottom line. And so lots of people are going to start building businesses, and they're going to enter into your industry, and they're going to put up their sign, and they're going to start up their shops. And I think it's imperative that we as entrepreneurs and people who have already done this prior are there for them to lock arms with and possibly, feed off of some of our advice, and to really be there for them when they're struggling or when they have questions, or just to feel a bit of a community. If there's something that is so imperative for entrepreneurs, is we work individually, and it would be so wonderful if we could just have this entrepreneurial HR department, which really is kind of what this whole area is all about, that you have access to, is having your own HR department. It's a great place for business owners to come, relative in their own fields, but just get business kind of conversations going and across the board, because really at the end of the day, no matter what business we're in, as entrepreneurs we have all of the same issues to deal with. We have all of the same things to think about and to grow into, and for leadership growth, and for professional development growth. And I think it's imperative to be part of this industry and be giving back. One of my second books that I really love, and I saw this man speak live last year in Canada, was Robin Sharma, and this is The Greatness Guide. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. He also wrote the book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and it's just a fantastic, fantastic book to keep by your bedside. He recommends having only 5 books and actually really becoming versed in each of those 5 books, which I think is actually kind of a really cool tidbit of advice, because really I'm a little bit of a bookworm, and I could get 20 books going at once, but it's really been kind of nice to kind of maybe focus my entrepreneurial ADD a bit, and to get me to really kind of become an expert in maybe a few books. One of the other books that I'm reading right now, which is a little bit of a different read, and she has an excellent TED Talk as well, is Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. And I think this is another one that is really great for entrepreneurs to really put in the repertoire, to pull out and start reading. And it is a good one. I'm enjoying it. And as well, John C. Maxwell, Everything, Encouragement Changes Everything. This is another great book as well that, you can pull out just little snippets to inspirational little quotes. And if you are working with people on a team, or you're working with other individuals in your industry, it's so incredibly lifting when you can pull someone out of their slump, or you can get them to think bigger, or you can get them to see further, or you can get them to start up again. I think as entrepreneurs we kind of have the luxury of every day starting fresh, and we can take our business in any way we want. We don't have anyone telling us which way to go. We don't have anyone telling us what time to check in and check out. We do have the power. And if there's one thing that has led me to really become a strong entrepreneur, is some of the Franklin Covey trainings. My husband, fortunately, is a certified trainer with Franklin Covey and Insights, and many of these coaching facilitations. And one of the ones that has really stuck out to me was the circle of influence and the circle of concern. And as entrepreneurs, we definitely have a circle of influence, and that's what we can do to influence things that we actually have control over influencing. And we can really reduce the amount of time that we spend in our circle of concern, because when you think about it, you actually really can't change someone else's thought processes. You cannot actually physically reach into their brain and say, I'm going to change what you're thinking. They have the final decision on how they're going to think. So when you take your focus away from things that are concerning, that you don't even have control over, you can start focusing on things that you do have control over. And once you start realizing that that's a smaller circle, it's a little bit more focused for you, you really can start making an impact on your everyday bottom line in your business. And I'm really excited to be here, because I'm one of the first ones, and it's really going to be great to see who Jeff can bring to the table, and who can talk and bring some trainings and some insight from being an entrepreneur, or being just in business, to the table here. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what other aspects can be brought, and what I'm going to learn here. I'm super excited that I met Jeff, and that I experienced being in a mastermind session with him, and we've kept in touch as well with all of the other mastermind groups. People that joined into that one mastermind, and I would highly recommend that you add that into your business as well. Coaching and growing, even when you feel you're at your peak of your business, is something that I think we all need to have. You're never going to be there. You're never arrive. You can't arrive. And if there's one other thing that I can be really honest about, is always be grateful. Very grateful for anyone around you who is more successful, and who is seeing success, and is learning and growing. because it is going to come back, and what you think about is what you bring about. And so I hope that some of these little snippets are going to give you a little bit of a jolt and a little bit of a boost. I'm very grateful again for being here, and thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of you speak here on the video and learning from you. Wonderful. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.